Hello, comrades. When I was a child, I liked to play Flash games. Now, for those of you who are too young or too old to remember, Flash games were simple browser-based games run on the now defunct Adobe Flash. They weren't as complicated or often as fun as full video games, but their simplicity offered a different kind of experience that I and many others enjoyed as children in the 2000s. Over the years, I've seen the basic idea of a simple game that takes less investment than a full video game expanded to many different mediums. Simple phone games that you can play for 5 minutes while online, Facebook games that give you a reason to add as many friends as possible and log into Facebook every day, and not too long ago, Netflix added its own gaming category, although I am not entirely sure why. Most recently, YouTube has added a gaming section to their app. At first, this seemed fun. It reminded me of the simple games from my childhood. I could be this man running forward, passing through obstacles until I reached the end of the level, or this cat knocking things over and trying to escape whatever strange house I had found myself in while listening to a YouTube video in the background. But I couldn't shake the feeling that something was missing. Something was wrong. It was this cat escape game that drew my attention to exactly what was wrong. Throughout the game, you unlock more skins for your cat. Every 4 levels, in fact, and the game grows steadily more complicated, slowly building to something. Once I unlocked all the skins for my cat, I thought that surely I was close to the end. The levels in the game were very clearly human-made and couldn't simply go on forever. I thought I was going to beat the game. But when I kept playing, the levels just repeated. There was no escape. There was no end. Now, Flash games didn't always have an end. Sometimes they did. Sometimes George Bush would finish shooting all the people who were invading the White House. Sometimes you would fight Satan once you dug to the bottom of Mars. Sometimes your fish would grow so big and eat so many of the other fish that the ecosystem would collapse. But other times, you would lose. You would have a final score, and you would lose and have to restart the entire game. In Cat Escape, you simply go back to the beginning of the level, and the level counter goes up once you make it through, even if you have done the same level 5 times before. In the Tall Man Running game, it does the same exact thing, except along with the level number increasing, the total number of these gems that you've collected goes up. I realized this was the thought that was nagging at the back of my head when I first started. Why is it that I am collecting these gems? I'd been conditioned by other games to think that collecting gems was good. In other games, if you get enough in one level, you would end up on the leaderboard or you'd be able to buy something with them. But what about this game? If someone was playing this game and they had played no other game before and didn't know what a gem was, couldn't they just as likely think that the goal of the game was to make it through each level getting the minimum number of gems? I think it would actually be harder to play this way. The games on YouTube have the trappings of games, but by not having an ending, they have become meaningless. The cat escaping is a Sisyphean struggle in which the cat never truly escapes and is never caught in any meaningful sense. You just go right back to the beginning of the level. YouTube offering bad games that invoke more existential dread than a sense of achievement might not make sense if you think YouTube wants to become a gaming platform, but it makes perfect sense if you think YouTube just wants to continue to be a video platform. When I am watching a video and YouTube offers me a game to play while I watch, it's not for the game itself. It's so that I don't leave the platform. While I listen to the video, I get distracted by the game just long enough so that another video starts to play, and then I listen to it too, and I never have an end point, a stopping point, a point to reflect that really, maybe I would rather be doing something else. YouTube already knows how many of us use its platform, how we put on videos as something to listen to while we clean, while we cook, while we exercise, while we fall asleep. We get so far into the habit of always listening to something that it's always in the background. And then, once there is nothing to do, we get so used to doing something while watching YouTube videos, we seek it out. We look for a game to play while we watch, and if the game never ends, it never distracts us too much, it's never too good a game, we never notice, and we never leave. Ultimately, while this is better for YouTube, I do not think this is better for us. It offers a superficially more engaging experience, but saves us the bother of having to really fully engage with the videos we watch. This is particularly troublesome in an era when YouTube can be a useful tool to learn about new things or see different perspectives from our own. There have been a few times when I've found myself listening to very long video essays, but then I realize they aren't really offering anything new or different. It's just the same few observations repeated in slightly different ways. These kinds of videos are really just selling me the feeling of thinking without ever actually having to think. But if I never really pay attention, I never notice, I never stop, then I never look for something better to fully engage with. Or, if I do find something truly interesting to watch, but I distract myself, constantly running an endless obstacle course waiting to see if I can kick the boss on this level, then I don't really absorb anything either, and I might as well be spending my time watching a bad video. YouTube games don't just make the experience of gaming worse, they make the experience of watching videos worse. Hey, if you liked this video, then please like this video. And if you'd like to learn more about the rhetorical device I just used, then subscribe for more videos. But remember, good night, good day, good potato.